Hello again. Anybody watching Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak laughing and joking together today might have been forgiven for thinking that they were old comrades who belonged to the same political party. They didn't look as though they had any points of difference at all, and that their hearts beat as one. It was a most peculiar sight. One can hardly imagine Harold Wilson and Ted Heath carrying on like this, or Margaret Thatcher and Michael Foot, say. Those were leaders who had deep and genuine ideological differences and entirely different views on every aspect of politics. Socialists and Tories, in other words. It was clear when watching those people in public that they disagreed strongly with each other and each thought that the other was a rogue or a fool. They certainly didn't carry on like Starmer and Sunak, who gave every impression of being like brothers. Nor was this a superficial impression, because in the King's speech we learnt that bills which Rishi Sunak had been forced to drop when he called an election were going to be taken up by Keir Starmer and pushed through anyway. The Tobacco and Vapes Bill, the Renters Reform Bill, Leasehold and Commonhold Reform Bill, all of them have been rescued by Starmer and adopted as his own. Not only that, he also left out quite a few things in the King's speech, promises for legislation that he knew the Tories wouldn't like, such as the voting age being reduced to 16. No mention of that. The fact is, Sunak and Starmer are members of the same exclusive club, and they have far more in common with each other than they do with ordinary people like us. They have sat down together at some point and agreed all this, agreed to advance a similar agenda together. For instance, there was no mention at all of immigration in the King's speech, although it's the single most important subject which the average person brings up when asked about political ideas which matter to them. They talk about ways of preventing illegal immigration and starting a new border patrol force. Yes, but that only accounts for a small number of immigrants, running to a few tens of thousands. There was nothing at all about the legal immigration, which had reached something in the region of 750,000 a year. Not a word. Plainly, Labour are going to continue the same policy as the Conservatives when it comes to that. What is crystal clear is that there is not really going to be a change of direction about anything. Really, it will be more of the same. Democracy in Britain is failing to provide us with a real choice anymore, as once it did. The more that this continues, the more I find myself thinking about things such as the Dark Enlightenment and neo-reactionary movement. But perhaps I'll make a separate video about this matter.